All right, let's talk about wood siding. If you've been thinking about this classic, beautiful option for your house, you are in exactly the right spot. We're going to break down everything you need to know from which woods to pick, all the way to the long-term value it adds.
You know, this quote really hits the nail on the head when you're talking about home renovation, right? Any big project is a journey, and choosing your siding, that's one of the biggest decisions you can make to completely transform the look and feel of your home's exterior. So think of this as your roadmap. We're going to get into the good stuff, the pros, the costs, the different types, and what it takes to keep it looking great, all to help you decide if wood siding is where you want to go with your home. So let's start with the big question.
First things first, why even consider wood? What is the big deal about this material that's made it such a timeless choice for people? Well, it really boils down to three things: how it looks, how it performs, and how it impacts the planet.
Okay, let's start with the obvious one. It just looks incredible. I mean, nothing really matches the natural warmth and beauty of real wood, and you can customize it to fit any style you want, from a cozy, rustic cabin to something super sleek and modern. But it's not just about looks. Wood is a fantastic natural insulator, which can actually save you some real money on your energy bills. Plus, when it's sourced the right way, it's a truly sustainable choice. And all of that together, it creates amazing curb appeal, which directly pumps up your home's resale value. So let's say you're on board with the benefits. The next logical step is figuring out, okay, which type of wood is right for me? Because, trust me, not all wood siding is created equal, and your choice here is going to affect your budget, how long it lasts, and how much work you have to put into it later.
This chart is a fantastic way to see the trade-offs at a glance. You've got your really cost-effective stuff like pine on one end, and then these super premium, gorgeous choices like redwood on the other. But hey, look at engineered wood. It's in that lower cost tier, but it has this incredible lifespan with way less maintenance. This is really the perfect place to start figuring out what your priorities are. So let's zoom in on those premium options. Cedar and redwood, they're the heavy hitters for a reason. They have these natural oils built right in that act like a preservative, which makes them super resistant to rot and bugs. And that's a huge deal, especially if you live somewhere with rough weather.
Now, on the other side of things, if you want that beautiful, natural wood look, but you gotta watch the budget, pine is a great, accessible choice. It just needs a little more TLC. And if your number one priority is, I don't want to deal with it, then engineered wood is a fantastic option. It's basically a composite material made to look like real wood, but built to resist pretty much everything. Okay, now for the question that's on everybody's mind: how much is this going to cost? You might have an idea of the wood you want, but what's it actually going to take to get it on your house? Let's get into the numbers.
So here's a general all-in number to have in your head. Give or take, you can expect to pay somewhere between $8 and $25 per square foot. Now I know that's a pretty wide range, so let's dig into what actually pushes that price up or down.
This chart right here makes it crystal clear why that range is so wide. The cost of the material itself is a huge factor. You can see pine on the lower end, and then redwood really holds down that premium spot. This decision right here is probably the single biggest thing that will determine your total project cost.
But of course, it's not just the wood. A bigger house is obviously going to cost more, and if your home has a lot of tricky angles and corners, that's more labor. But here's a pro tip. Always budget for the unexpected. Things like having to remove old siding, or even worse, finding and fixing hidden water damage underneath. Those are the hidden costs that can really sneak up on you.
Okay, you've got a vision, you've got a budget. Now comes what is, honestly, the most critical step of all: finding the right person to actually do the work. You can buy the most beautiful materials in the world, but a bad installation will ruin it. Hiring a great contractor is non-negotiable. Here's your 4-step action plan. First, do your homework online. Read all the reviews. Then, and this is super important, make sure any contractor you're thinking about is properly licensed and insured. That protects you. Ask to see their work and for references you can actually call. And finally, get at least 3 detailed quotes. Don't just look at the final price, look at what's actually included. And before you sign anything, please ask this exact question. You need to understand the warranty. A good contractor will stand by their work, and they'll offer a warranty on their craftsmanship that's separate from whatever warranty the siding material has. You gotta know what's covered and for how long. The work is finally done, the siding is up, and your house looks absolutely incredible. But the journey is not quite over. Now it's all about protecting that big investment so it lasts and holds its value for years and years to come. And yeah, maintenance is key. At least once a year, you'll want to give it a gentle cleaning.
Just walk around your house every now and then looking for any little cracks or damage. And then, every 3 to 5 years, you're going to need to reapply a protective coat of paint or stain. This is what shields the wood from sun and rain, and it is the single most important thing you can do to make it last.
And this right here, this is the payoff for all that work. With the right care, your siding can last for decades. I mean, look at that. A well-maintained cedar siding can last up to 40 years. And engineered wood can go even longer, up to 50. That's a lifetime of protection for your home.
And when we talk about value, it's not just about how long it lasts, it's also about cold hard cash. Siding replacement projects have a really strong return on investment. Homeowners usually get back 70 to 80% of what they spent when it comes time to sell. It's an investment that actually pays you back.
Oh, and one last thing, especially for those of you focused on sustainability. If you see this term FSC certified, that just means the wood came from a forest that's managed to the highest environmental and social standards. It's a great way to make sure your beautiful new siding is also an eco-friendly choice. So we come all the way back to the main question. When you think about its timeless beauty, its durability, as long as you take care of it, and that strong return on investment, is wood siding the right choice to protect and beautify your home for decades? Well, now that answer is in your hands. Thanks for joining me.